Okay, so I saved this movie for this uh particular series reviews because the name came first in the title, which is of course Freddy versus Jason. Which, like I said, I kept the review for this movie for Nightmare on Elm Street because Freddy's name is the first one in the title, and plus I reviewed. There's 10 movies in the freaking Friday 13th series, so I was like, well, I might as well just give it to Freddy since there's only 7 of them. But everyone knows that Freddy vs. Jason was in production hell for a long time, ever since the 90s. They were trying to get this movie off the ground since Jason Goes to Hell, and it took them about, I think, 10 years until they finally came up with a good concept for Freddy vs. Jason. And some of the script ideas were just fucking stupid for this. And I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Freddy vs. Jason, but it is better than what the idea was better for what they had before. Like, there was one where there was like a cult obsessed with Freddy Krueger called the Fred Heads, and they were trying to resurrect Freddy's soul. And then there's one where a girl, her boyfriend died, so she cut his heart out and then threw it into Camp Crystal Lake, and it resurrected Jason. There's one where this one would be cool if they could get the rights to the Pinhead in the Hellraiser series, where it was actually supposed to take place in hell, Freddy and Jason fighting in hell, and then Pinhead was supposed to be like the moderator. Then I don't know. There's just some stupid ideas that they came up with, and what they came up with, like I can just handle. So this movie came out in, I believe, 2002 or 2003, and it Freddy imitates his mother, or Jason's mother, to bring Jason back to life in order and send him to Springwood, Ohio. That's where Nightmare on Elm Street takes place. And to go on Elm Street to kill all these kids, to bring bring the fear back, so people will think it's Freddy, because at this time Freddy is completely wiped out. He is like he doesn't even exist anymore. Like, at every newspaper, his name is redacted. No one talks about him. No one knows the events of what happened. I think only the adults do, but like the teenagers and the younger folks don't know. So when this happens, there's a group of teenagers, and two of them are in a mental hospital. They're in Weston Hills. Yeah, I think that's the hospital from Nightmare on Elm Street series. They're the only two that know who Freddy is, because one of them, he actually saw his brother die by Freddy, so now he's locked up in the hospital. And the other one, he actually saw Freddy kill, or he thinks it was his girlfriend's father kill his mother, but it was actually Freddy, so he's locked up. And you know, Jason starts wreaking havoc, and they don't know what the hell's going on. But the main girl, she starts having dreams about Freddy, and and no one believes. They're not giving her answers. What it is, what's going on. So they break out. The two kids in the mental hospital, they break out, and then they tell her, yeah, that's Freddy, that he's trying to come back. Um, and chaos ensues, and then finally, Freddy and Jason do battle. Uh, like I said, it's not the greatest concept ever, and I was probably expecting more out of this, but because I'm not really a huge fan of either series, but I expect a little bit more out of it. And the main issue I have with this is that Freddy barely gets any kills in. Like he only gets one kill, and anytime he does try to kill people, freaking Jason comes in and does it for him. Or he only kills one guy, and that's the guy that actually saw him kill his brother. The guy who saw Freddy kill his brother. That's the only guy Freddy kills in the movie. And his death was pretty cool. Like, he sees his brother, laying in the bathtub, and his wrists are slit, and he's like, "Why did you let him do this to me?" And you see like him sucked to the floor, and there's like eels coming out, and he starts screaming. He's like, "Someone wake me up!" And then Freddy like throws him up against the wall and starts burning into his back, and then he writes Freddy's back on his back. I mean, his death was okay, but that's the only death Freddy does in the movie. And like Jason, like he's killing everyone, like left and right. There's like the scene in the cornfield. There's like a rave party going on in a cornfield, and like Jason's like hacking people up left and right. And then like one of the slutty kind of girl, she escapes and she's like running in the silo thing, but she's actually passed out. And there's some weird dude trying to rape her, trying to get freaky with her, like rape her actually. Well, she's running in the silo thing, and it turns into Freddy's boiler room, and she hides in the locker because she hears like Freddy's gloves and stuff. And then Freddy like bursts open the door, is gonna go kill her, and then you see like she gets stabbed with something, and then Freddy gets mad and goes like, "No, she was mine, mine." And then I was like, Jason, you could have let her have her. It's like you like hacked up like everyone at the fucking cornfield. Yeah, and I guess Jason's kind of like a hero, like in part 8, because he stabs the guy that was trying to rape her, but he actually kills her too. Um, but there's a kind of funny scene where like there's these two stoner guys, and they're like they see Jason. This is before he starts the massacre at the cornfield, and he's like, "Ooh," the fat one's like, "Ooh, what's up, Jeffro?" He's like, "Don't you need someone for a pig to fuck?" And then like the jockey looking guy, he's like, "Yeah, blah blah blah." And then Jason takes his hand and cracks it, and then the fat guy starts running. And then I thought this scene was always funny, like the fat guy's running, and then Jason throws his machete and like hits him in the chest, and like you could tell like the guy's holding blood in his mouth, as he goes like like that and dies. Uh, Another cool scene was before they know like who Freddy is and stuff. Like this, like when Jason first starts killing people. Uh, they're at a house and they're all hanging out because like the main girl, she's like freaking out. She's afraid to go to sleep and stuff. And so one of the two of the kids, they go up into the bedroom. They're having sex, and then afterwards the girl goes takes a shower and the guy's laying in the bed. And like the guy flips over, Jason starts stabbing him in the back. And then he takes the bed, like each side of the bed, and like crushes the guy in half. Um, then there's this one guy. Uh, he goes home and he's drunk and his dad's getting mad at him. So he's like, I want to go inside. And then like his dad's sitting out on the porch, and then he goes out. He has a dream about Freddy, and like he goes outside and like he sees like Freddy's shadow, and like Freddy's like trying to chase him, and like he lunges out at him, and then he sees the lamb too, like from the first movie, and then he runs back up on the porch, and then he wakes up, and he's like, "Dad, Dad," and he hits his dad, and then his dad's head falls in his hand, and then Jason comes up and like slashes at him, but you don't see anything. Um, there's a stoner. Then there's a scene where they run to, because they had to get the hypnosil, because like I said, the hypnosil, it makes you can go to sleep, but you can't. It doesn't let you dream. So her and her friends are trying to go get the hypnosil, so they can't go to sleep. And so they break into where the warehouse or where it's stored at, and one guy gets high. He's like the main stoner guy. He kind of looks like Jason Mewes, and he gets high. And I know this scene's kind of stupid, and like there's like a Freddy caterpillar thing that he follows, but Jason fucks up some people in there. Like he crushes a guard with a door. But there's a scene where Freddy possesses the stoner guy's body, and like he's like Freddy has an idea that he's gonna knock Jason out with the hypnosil, or he's gonna knock him out so they can fight, because Freddy's getting pissed off because Jason's killing everybody. So Jason or Freddy stabs him in the neck, knocks him out, and then Jason comes and slashes him in half with the machete. Then they're transporting the group is transporting Jason knocked out. They're transporting him to Crystal Lake. And then you go into Jason's backstory, like how he drowned as a kid, and then Freddy's there fucking a dead camper or a dead counselor. I'm like, okay. And then some of the dream sequences between Freddy and Jason when they got into the fight was pretty cool, but I mean they kind of give Freddy more of the upper hand because he's in the dream world. And I didn't like how they made Jason afraid of water, because he's not afraid of water, because in the other movies he's actually in the fucking water swimming. And I don't, there's just some fallacies with that, but I can overlook it. And then there's the big battle at the end where Freddy and Jason go at it, and then Kelly Rowland dies. Freddy distracts her because she's gonna go like, I bet you probably have a small dick and stuff like that or whatever, and then Freddy goes like this. He was like, and then she looks back and Jason kills her, like smashes her, throws her into a tree, and then like the big battle at the end is pretty freaking bloody because the girl finally pulls Freddy out of her dream, and then him and Jason go at it, and it gets pretty brutal and gory, and that's like, well, that's what you want to see, is just them going at it. So yeah, I mean, the movie has its flaws and stuff, and it's the early 2000s, so they had to have a rapper or R&B star in it, so they had Kelly Rowland, which she wasn't that bad. The acting's all right. There's just the best guy was probably the guy who played the stoner. And I know John Ritter's son's in it, and he did all right. And the girl who played the main characters, she did all right. I know this movie's directed by Ronnie Yu, who is famous for directing a lot of martial arts films, and he also directed Bride of Chucky. And you could tell like he has a martial arts background, because a lot of the action shots, like Freddy and Jason fighting, is like very choreographed and stuff. There's also this weird scene where like the main character girl, she falls asleep at this, because they're like making a plan of what to do, and she falls asleep And she's like, Freddy's afraid of fire, Jason by water, so Jason's afraid of water, so how can we use that? And then they're like, I don't know. We need to give him a virgin or something. And like, they start acting when they're gonna tie her down. And then Freddy gets on top of her and he was like, how about a little kiss? And like she pulls his ear off and she brings it back out. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I know it's not the best review. I'm just rambling, but most people have already seen this movie. But it's not the best versus movie, but it's alright. Anyways, that's my review.